The hydrometer. What is it used for, and how does one use it? Today on Homebrewing TV, we will explore these questions and take a close look at this hydrometer from Brewing America. Stick with us.
When Paul suggested we do a hydrometer video, we did some research on suppliers to see if anyone in particular stood out. When we came upon the Brewing America site, we liked what we saw. A U.S. veteran-owned and operated small American business. Their hydrometers meet or exceed the standards set by the National Institute of Standards and Technology, referred to as NIST, which means accuracy. Also, they are made in America.
We reached out to Kyle at Brewing America and told him what we were planning on doing. He was happy to send us an array of hydrometers that Brewing America manufactures, with no strings attached. Naturally, we offered to do what we do when companies send us their products for free. We review them for you fine people.
Brewing America sent us 3 of their Pro Series kits. The alcohol hydrometer for high alcohol liquor.
You know, just in case there's anyone out there making a little moonshine.
Yeah. That one measures on a 0 to 200 proof scale. We won't be using that one today. The one we will be using is the Pro Series Thermo-Hydrometer.
Right. This one has 2 functions in one instrument, the hydrometer and a thermometer, which, as you will see, makes testing your beer faster and easier.
All right, back to the basics. The hydrometer is an instrument that allows you to measure gravity, track fermentation, and help determine when a beer is finished. But before we get into the proper use of the hydrometer, it is important to understand what the instrument is measuring: specific gravity.
Yes, specific gravity is a measurement of the density of a liquid at a specific temperature and pressure. For homebrewers, we are measuring the amount of dissolved sugars in wort or beer compared to water. Pure water has a specific gravity of 1.000, and as sugars are dissolved into solution, it will cause the gravity to increase.
When discussing specific gravity, brewers tend to read 1.030 as 1030. Gravity can also be expressed in other units of measurement like Plato and Balling, but for today, we will stick with gravity.
Brewers will take a gravity reading before pitching yeast to get what's referred to as an original gravity reading. Having a target original gravity for all grain brewers allows one to track how close certain aspects of their recipe match the actual wort. Most classic beer styles have an original gravity in the 1030 to 1070 range.
After a beer has visibly finished fermenting, a final gravity reading is typically taken. The following day, another reading is taken, and if the readings are the same, it can be safely assumed that fermentation has completed. Comparing the original and final gravities allows one to measure the attenuation, which can help to estimate the alcohol content.
The hydrometer floats in liquid, and where the surface of the liquid touches the hydrometer scale will determine the specific gravity. To pull a sample, use a wine thief, a siphon, or a turkey baster. If your fermenter has a sampling valve, this would be the best option. Be sure to take extra care with sanitation. Gravity readings are typically taken before pitching the yeast and after visible signs of fermentation have ceased. We don't recommend taking more samples than necessary, because each time you open the fermenter to draw out the wort, you're introducing the risk of contamination.
Place the wort sample in a vessel large enough to allow the hydrometer to freely float without hitting the bottom or sides of the container. Brewing America designed their glass test jar to use less liquid to conduct your hydrometer tests, about 125 milliliters, which is roughly half as much as most others sold.
Fill the container about 3/4 full. Gently lower the hydrometer, releasing it as it begins to float. Gently spin the hydrometer to remove any bubbles from the sides. Bubbles can affect the readings. Do not drop the hydrometer into the container. Do not drop the hydrometer. The most common reason for things to break is to drop it.
Oh, dude, are you serious?
Just like that.
Nice, Paul.
So that's how those break.
Reading a hydrometer is as simple as noting where the surface of the liquid meets the surface of the hydrometer, right? It's actually a little bit more involved than that. In fact, if you take your hydrometer reading from where the liquid appears to stop, you may be taking your readings a little too high. Instead, you want to take the reading from the bottom of what's called the meniscus. A meniscus is a curvature in liquid and usually happens in vessels like test tubes. Carefully look where the bottom point of the meniscus is and take a reading from that level. You will notice it may be a few ticks lower than if you read it from the highest point of the liquid.
It is very important to note that hydrometers are calibrated to be used in a liquid of a certain temperature. Older hydrometers were typically calibrated to 60 degrees Fahrenheit, and newer ones can go up to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. The calibration of your hydrometer will be in its instructions. If you take a reading when your wort is not the right temperature, the results will not be accurate. Not only is the Brewing America hydrometer NITS traceable and guaranteed to be accurate within a plus or minus 0.002 variance, the Thermo-Hydrometer has a built-in thermometer, permitting one to easily calculate the offset due to the temperature of the wort.
Two functions in one instrument, hydrometer and thermometer in one specific gravity ABV tester. This makes testing your brew easier. Accuracy, it's NIST traceable and made in America. Safe, only non-toxic materials are used. This hydrometer does not use lead in base weights. There is no mercury used in the thermometer.
The hydrometer kit we used includes a borosilicate glass hydrometer test tube, which means it can withstand sudden temperature changes without the risk of cracking. The tube is narrow and just tall enough for you to use as little wort as possible to get the perfect readings. And it's a 100% transparent single-piece all-glass test cylinder, which means you can see clearly through it without graduation marks getting in the way of the readings, which is a problem we've seen in other test cylinders. And even though it's made of glass, the protective plastic ring prevents it from being broken, as you can see here.
Listen, there are more expensive ways to take gravity readings and less expensive ways, but in our opinion, the line of Brewing America hydrometers achieves the perfect balance of cost versus quality.
Absolutely. All homebrewers should have a hydrometer, and Brewing America makes a great one. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments or questions about what we've done today, go ahead and put those down below. Mike and I look at all of them, and we will answer them as quickly as possible. If this is your first time with us, welcome. We do review videos, we do how-to videos, we do brew day videos. If you liked the video today, go ahead and give us a thumbs up and share it with some folks. Also, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon. That bell icon just notifies you when we put out new content. Until next time, keep brewing, my friends.
A few ticks lower than if you read it from the top of the most
Topmost point.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Pull a sample, use a wine thief. Sorry.
Yeah. Wayne's World. Excellent. Safe. Not only that. Got ahead of me.
The most common reason for things to break is to drop it into the bottom, just like this one did.
Paul.
Just like that.
Nice, Paul.
Dad.
So that's how those break.
Nice. Do you have another one?
I do.
That's good.
In addition to this channel, you can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up and share it with anyone who might enjoy it. If you're new to the channel, click the subscribe button and remember to also click the bell icon so that you can be notified when there's new content available.